Welcome to the special edition of The Real Slice podcast brought to you by perfectingpizza.com. And today we have some very special guests, and we're going to have a very special topic today, the preview show of the New York Virtual Pizza Festival. Siler, welcome in today. How are you?
Hey, good, buddy. How are y'all?
Good. I know I'm really happy to be on with some fellow industry icons here and to be able to talk about what's going to happen next weekend with the New York Pizza Festival. So really excited about that. How's it going with you today?
Hey, we're having a great day down here in South Carolina, but it's great to have some heavy hitters on today. I tell you what, we're doing really good with this podcast, bringing some legends on, but today's going to be the day. So we got Dan up in Jersey City. We got Vincent, my buddy over in Vegas, killing it right now. We got Nicole Bean on today. And listen, Fred is behind the scenes. A lot of people might not know who Fred is, but he is the mastermind bringing all your imports from Italy over and just bringing, all the main products that we need in our pizzerias. Fred's that guy. So I'm super excited about today. I really am.
Fantastic. I know I am as well. I think with that, we'll cut right to Fred. And maybe, Fred, you can give us a little background on what you do and the show. And I think people will be real excited to hear this year's show is going to be virtual and kind of maybe go into the reasoning behind that, even though it might be a little obvious.
Yeah, thank you, Nick, and thank you, Siler. And I'm honored and thrilled to be on the podcast today. It's I love that you guys are doing this. So food importer by trade. Orlando Foods is a company I have. We import flour and tomatoes and oil and pasta and a few other items like buffalo mozzarella from Italy. Kind of all the staples that go into the Mediterranean diet for many, many years. And a few years ago, we wanted to try to create something that was going to be pizza-centric, that was going to bring some community and create some more interest between consumers and pizzerias. And so we started something called the New York Pizza Festival. We hosted 2 live events. We did one in 2018 in the Bronx, on the Little Italy of the Bronx on Arthur Avenue. And then we did the same event in 2019. As everyone can imagine, in 2020, there was no ability to do a live event. We did find that the bringing together of like the best pizza makers from around the country, because even though it was New York Pizza Festival, their participants were from many different cities in the US, of course, many from New York, and we even had 5 or 6 from Italy. So it was this great place where everybody could go and meet the pizza maker, meet the guy that is actually in a spot that maybe you don't visit or you wouldn't otherwise see, and given a little bit of a look behind the scenes, meet the people who make the product, meet these guys who have helped elevate the artisan pizza community. So we decided that in 2021, we really just didn't want to stop promoting and losing, kind of what COVID's made all of us lose a lot in our lives. And in some cases, it's been very bad. In some cases, the worst thing that happened is people have been shut off from family or friends. But there's been some, obviously negative components of this. So we said, we're not going to let COVID beat us, and we're going to do a home edition. And the concept of the home edition is really to give this community some life and bring people together. Let people see the characters inside of our world. Let them see their favorite pizza makers. And more than anything, get them jazzed up. So on April 24th and 25th, you want the desire to buy pizza from your local restaurant. You can find on the website all these participants, and there's a piece of this that goes to a charity. So we just feel like everyone loves pizza, and we want to keep bringing more visibility and promoting more of this really wonderful food that all of us are involved in.
I think that's just fantastic that you guys decided to go ahead and do it virtually this year. And is it correct that everyone's free to go ahead and participate this year as well?
Yeah, there's no cost. It's going to be broadcast through Facebook and through YouTube. There's a really wonderful setup of programming over 2 days. Really robust programming with great people inside the industry showing you how to make pizza at home, giving you tours of facilities that actually make the ingredients that make pizza. And all you have to do is just enjoy, watch it, and hopefully you're inspired to either make the pizza or go to the restaurants of my colleagues on this podcast and buy there.
That's
Great.
wonderful. Nick, I got a question for Fred real quick. Fred, as you're bringing up the home, pizza person now that is, learning to make pizzas at home, and are y'all seeing as a distributor side as an increase of home chefs coming out and really looking for that fine product that y'all import in from Italy? Are y'all seeing a big demand in that right now? Definitely through COVID.
Yeah, Siler, it was kind of extraordinary. We were actually a little bit taken aback because we did see a huge spike in demand on the consumer sizes. And in fact, we also noticed that the videos that promote pizza making at home got many, many more hits. They started going crazy. So people were at home watching and trying to figure it out. And, with today's world, we're able to see that live and understand, like, oh my goodness, this video is being watched over and over. Oh my goodness, there's more small bags of flour and small cans of tomatoes that are being consumed. So definitely when COVID shut down all the restaurants for a long period of time, it did last March and April, it kind of started immediately this idea that people don't want to give up pizza, thank goodness. And I think no matter what, it still creates this community. It brings people to want to not just do it at home, but, want to go out and eat it also.
That's fantastic news, like to hear that. And then, it's going to bring the community of pizza even closer at the end of the day when it comes down to the home chef and the respect for the craft. So that's exciting.
I agree. I think definitely the respect is the right word, because people realize very quickly that this is not super easy. And it's a rabbit hole you go down when you start learning about the different techniques and what obviously the colleagues on the podcast will talk about, what they've mastered. It's not a simple food item, and it's great to play with. Yeah.
Now, if it's okay, let's introduce Dan over here. I'm trying to think of the right word here. He is a
pizza maker.
Yeah, but he's a great secret to Jersey, man. He's like, he comes out of nowhere and makes some of the best pies ever. And I heard that from John, buddy of mine, John. We went to Italy together, and when I saw y'all making pizzas the other day, I was like, okay, tell me about Dan, and he's like, this guy's a legend. So Dan, introduce yourself as the pizza maker, but tell us everything about you.
Yeah, so I grew up in New Jersey. I've lived here pretty much all of my life. I grew up like everybody, eating a slice of pizza, and it made a huge mark on me. I graduated from college in 2002 and flew to Italy. Traveled all the way from the very top of Italy, more north of Milan, and all the way down to Salerno, hitting as many cities and small towns as I could in that 3-week trip. And it changed my life. At 22, I knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And that's to make really delicious food and kind of bridge that gap between why was the food so much better in Italy? And at 22, I was eating the simple, really inexpensive foods. It wasn't any fine dining by any means. It's a simple plate of pasta with tomato sauce or a pizza margherita. And why was it so much different? Why was it so much better? Why did gnocchi with tomato sauce taste so much better than what we have here in New Jersey? And we got we have a ton of Italian restaurants, really good ones. But why was the food so much different? So it inspired me to learn how to cook. And I started visiting farmers markets to buy ingredients. And then in 2006, I bought a failing restaurant that happened to have 2 wood-fired ovens. So that's when I really started to learn about fire, about flour, about the ingredients, and about the techniques to put all those things together to create something really magical. And I am still doing that. I'm still learning about it as much as I've been doing it since I made my first pizza in 2003, and I'm still learning every day. It's an endless pursuit to make it just a little bit better, to have a little bit deeper understanding of the ingredients, the techniques, and how they come together to make something that is, yes, it is so, pizza is so simple, but is extraordinarily complicated. And it's a lifelong pursuit that keeps me interested and engaged all of the time. I'm so lucky to have found that at such a young age.
And now you can't get out of it, can you?
I wouldn't want to. I get to play with my food all day long and talk to great people over a pizza. It's so much. It's so rewarding to make people happy, to make our guests happy, to make our team happy when we get to play with our food and talk about food and spread joy and happiness through something that we make with such primitive ingredients like wood and flour and tomatoes.
Yeah. Now, what's the festival mean to you, being a part of this year and doing it virtually? How do you feel about it all?
I mean, I'm so grateful that you guys invited me to be a part of it. I think pizza is such a happy and it's a food that brings people together. There's no food that's more equitable and fair and that promotes equity and togetherness. And even if we have to do it virtually, Fred, I haven't seen you in like 2 years. Last time I saw you, we were in Italy. Nicole, I haven't seen you. I don't even remember. California, maybe eating tomatoes in a field.
Yeah.
You know, this is togetherness. Even though we're not together, we're still together, and it's great to see you all, and it's great to just be together, even if it's through a computer screen.
Now, Dan, for all our people up in Jersey, how does someone find you up there?
Come to Jersey City. We're on Grove Street in Jersey City. We're 10 minutes from Manhattan. We're on social media. There's our website right there. And I have a book on pizza making coming out, on pizza making at home, coming out in October. So I'm putting all of my 18 years or so of pizza making experience into a book that should be out in October.
And Dan, could you talk specifically what you're going to be doing for the New York Pizza Festival as well?
Yeah, we're doing 2 pizzas. They're yet to be determined, but we're going to do some. We got these amazing yellow tomatoes from southern Italy, and I want to make a yellow margarita. I don't think color should be a determining factor whether pizza is delicious or not. There's not enough yellow margaritas out there.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, there's just tomatoes have many color sizes, shapes, flavors, and we have this one yellow tomato from Gustiamo's, the importer. It's a very, very special tomato. It's super sweet, good acidity, but not overly acidic by any means. And it's just a special tomato, and it's obscenely expensive, so we can't really afford to put it on every pizza by any means. But for such a special event like this, we felt like it was a good reason to spend some money with a good importer and with such a special product. And we'll do a yellow margarita, and we're still working on the other one. It's probably going to be something seasonal with some of the first green things to come out of the farms and forests here in New Jersey, like ramps and garlic mustard and all these great greens that have a very short shelf life and a very short growing season. Like garlic mustard is everywhere in the forest right now here in New Jersey. And it's completely edible. It's completely an invasive species. So it's kind of our duty to use it. Otherwise, it takes over everywhere. But it's only available in the forest for about a week and a half every year. So I try to do my part for the that 1 week that it's available, and collect a ton and throw it on a pizza with some ramps and maybe some cool mushrooms. We'll see what's available next week when the festival is.
That's amazing.
I'm always inspired by ingredients. That's my it gets me excited, when there's something new and exciting and just really understanding an ingredient, and that's what gives me life. And all of our pizzas are inspired by the raw materials.
Yeah, thank you for that, Dan. Really, really insight. And I would say that it sounds like you're gonna bring out something special for the festival. So I hope if anybody's up listening near Jersey City, they stop in for maybe just not one of those slices, but maybe a few of them. Sounds like it's going to be something very unique and special. So we appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. And Vincent, we know it's really early in Las Vegas, but we're glad you could join us today to talk about the festival. And would you give a little 411 for our viewers today on who you are and what you're bringing to the festival?
Hey, Vincent, can you unmute your microphone? Sorry.
Oh, how can you hear me now?
There you go. There you go.
There we go. I was just saying that I'm still in awe of everything Dan just said, and I love listening to him talk about pizza. So before I even say anything about who I am or what I do, I just need to just thank you, Dan, for sharing that, man. I want to run and find a yellow tomato, and you just inspired me so much, and I think that's what I'm really excited about. Collaborating in this virtual digital medium. It's almost as exciting as seeing all of you in person, and I miss all of that. But yes, my name is Vincent Rotolo, and I'm the owner and creator of Good Pie. I'm a native New Yorker, and I moved to Las Vegas about 10 years ago. My story is simple, right? I'm a front of house guy who loved pizza. I started working at the original brick oven John's Pizza on Bleecker Street, which is one of the first 4 pizzerias in America. I started working there as a kid in 1985, and I made my first pizza at age 12, and I didn't actually sell a pizza till I was 41 years old. So for all those years, I was just a pizza fan, and a pizza lover and a pizza consumer and a pizza, obsessive. And I went to every pizzeria and studied everything I could and absorbed it all. But the plan in my life was to always open a restaurant, but I never thought I could be a professional pizza maker until I met, I think the first time I thought I could actually make pizza for a living was when John Arena came to my house. And, John's here in Vegas, and he's like our godfather and our everything guy that we go to for advice. And he has a lot of nicknames, right? They call him the Sensi and the Wizard. But John, I think he came to my house, and I was having a pizza party, and I had an oven, and I started, messing around, and he was like, just encouraged me. And when I look back then, that was like 7 years ago. And when I look back then, I was really horrible, and I didn't know what I was doing, but he somehow just found a way to point out the good things that I was doing. And all he said was positive stuff. And, and that just made me believe in my mind that I could actually become a pizza maker. And I'm still in the process of becoming a pizza maker right now. I'm trying to just, learn from everyone in the industry. And, I care deeply for what I do and what we do at Good Pie. We want to have an emotional connection to the stories of pizza. And in many ways, I consider myself more of a storyteller than a pizza maker. And it's the story we tell is through making that style of pizza. So we feature the grandma style pizza. I have fond memories of grandma pizza growing up. That's the pizza we highlight, and that's the pizza we celebrate. And, I spent some time back in 2017. I spent a week with the Cesarano family at King Umberto, and I fell in love with the grandma all over again in a different way, in a more, just a more connected way. And I had a greater understanding of what it really meant to have what I call is an institutionalized pizzeria. I've only been out open for 3 years, but I already have families that come in every week, and I see these little children, these babies in my restaurant, and I just want to be that pizzeria that kids can grow up in and then be here to see them bring their kids. And that's the only real, true thing that drives me every day is I want a community and a neighborhood to grow up in my business, in my restaurant that I built. And I want them to, grow old and bring their kids and grandkids here. And, every time I kind of get around other pizza industry, artists, it drives and pushes me to just do a better job.
Vince, that's amazing, brother. And you have one of the best stories of all times. So let's talk about, and we're going to get off the festival just a minute, because I want to know from a true New Yorker that moved to Vegas where water is scarce, is it really all about the water in the big debate?
I think that water matters, but it doesn't matter as much as the general non-pizza making person thinks it matters. I have an amazing filtration system. And when you guys come here, I'll show it to you. And I have a filtration system that removes all of the hardness from my water and then adds in some mineral elements back to it. And it's beautiful to have that piece of equipment because, I've only been making pizza that way since December. And I have a temperature controlled dough room here to fight off the elements of the challenges of making pizza in the summer in Las Vegas. It's a different set of challenges making pizza in triple digit temperatures. But the reality is that water doesn't matter as much as the myth of we think it matters. I've made great pizza with tap water. I think the way that the flour absorbs the water, a lot of people say, some of my colleagues and some bread makers I know, they'll say, wow, that's a really thirsty flour, or that flour really drinks a lot. And I think the way the water hydrates the flour is more important than the actual components of the water itself. It's the water, flour, and the technique of making your dough, the step-by-step process of, is it a pre-ferment? Is it an auto-lease? Is it what's your dough formula? Are you doing a natural, yeast? Are you doing a sourdough? Are you doing, commercial yeast? All the little things, all the little decisions that you have to make on what makes your dough recipe matters more than the water.
No, you couldn't have said that any better. I love it. What can you tell us any secrets you got coming out for the festival and what you're going to share?
We're doing grandma pizza. I think our method is what I try to do as a pizza maker is we're building layers of flavor. So I'm constantly thinking of salt, of fat, of acid, of layering those in a delicate thoughtful way, where when you get that bite, it's really well balanced. and each flavor is pronounced to a level of it would be delicious all on its own, but when you add in that other component, that other ingredient, it enhances what was already there. You know, and I want to have a dough that can just be eaten as bread and still be delicious. And I think we've achieved that. And then I want to put the best possible cheeses. You know, every pizza I make has 4 cheeses. You know, I use a hard cheese, I use a semi-soft cheese, I use a shredded cheese, I have a finishing cheese. Like, I'm obsessed. And I'm never gonna stop like trying to make it better. You know, and I think being around this panel of pizza makers and all of the other pizza makers that we all know in common and some that we see on social media and everywhere, like I'm constantly, you know, looking for inspiration and trying to balance the ability to honor history and our heritage and tradition with new innovation and new techniques. And you know, one of my good friends told me, you know, I want to honor history, but I don't want to be stuck there. You know what I mean? I can't be trapped. You know, I think Arena might have said that too. And so, you know, I want to embody that in my food. And so that's really what we're doing with the grandma. It's a thin and crispy square, but the amount of different ingredients that are on there are just simplicity and deliciousness and just high quality.
That's everything. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now let's talk about this new building that's behind you. Is this your new restaurant you just opened up?
It is. I signed a lease back in about 2 years ago, over 2 years ago now, and you know, I decided I thought it was a good idea to like restore an old building, and it was not a great idea. It was really challenging. I'm not a designer. I'm not really that organized. Man. I have no business designing a restaurant. Like, project manager, like I could barely make this appointment this morning. Like I just got so much going on. So I probably wouldn't build and design and project manage my own restaurant ever again. I probably would hire those people. But at least now I know a little bit of what it takes. Like sometimes you just have to do something to realize you shouldn't be doing it. And that's what I did with this restaurant. So we finally got it open, you know, and I'm really proud of it because someone asked me recently, I did an interview last week and someone said, you know, is this the pizzeria that you grew up in? Is this a remake of that? And I thought about it for a minute and I'm like, no, but this is what I wish I would have had. This is the dream and the memory all together in one. And like, I think when you get older and you look back at your childhood and some things, you know, we love pizza a lot of times because there's an emotional connection to the time and place where we had our first pizza memories. And so, you know, I wanted to try to capture that within the building. And I wanted to build a place that was, you know, I think could help tell the story, could help give me that backdrop, that you know, give me that palette to now be able to create and have an expression of what kind of culinary artist that I'm trying to be. And I think we got there, but it was really, really hard, and I don't want to do it again.
I love it, Vincent. I love it. But congratulations, you did it, and now you can say you did it, and it's yours. You know what I mean? And nobody can ever take that away from you. So I love your passion, brother. You keep up the good work out there, man. And I can't wait till August, where I'm coming straight there from the airport. So hope you're ready.
I'll try my best to not embarrass myself when all you guys come. I'm already kind of just like, you know, I think it's different when other pizza makers that you really respect eat your pizza. It feels different, you know. Like we've had food critics and reviewers, and like, you know, we were reviewed by the New York Times. You know what I mean? And they came in and wrote about us, and that doesn't make me as nervous as when a pizza maker eats my food.
That's awesome.
I want it to be at its best when you guys come.
That's great.
Please don't come straight from the airport.
Oh, I'm coming bags and all. Coming bags and all.
Give me a chance.
Yes, I love it. So, Nick, let's talk about our women in pizza. I mean, we have the world famous Nicole Bean on today. Welcome back to the show, Nicole.
Hi guys, how are y'all?
Great to have you again. You're our first 2-time guest, so we're pretty excited about that, Nicole.
Woohoo! I'm so excited. I love when that happens.
Yep.
Well,
So
thank you.
give a quick rundown for our viewers again, who you are, and then if you want to talk about what you're going to be doing at the New York Pizza Festival, the virtual event, we'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. So I'm Nicole Bean. We're here in Houston. I own Pizarro's Pizza Napolitana. We offer 3 different styles of pizza: Napolitana, New York, and Detroit, as well as a gluten-free option. We've been in business. This year is our 10th year anniversary, so I'm very excited to run through the full 10 years. We didn't know that this would actually become a thing because we started making pizza in my parents' kitchen. That's how this all started. And it's been a quite a long and fun journey being in the pizza industry. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in my entire life. There's so much camaraderie. And like Vincent and both Dan said, it's one of those things where we're constantly inspired by each other every time that we see each other, every time that we eat each other's pizza, every time we do things like this, even virtually. It's constant inspiration, constant learning. We never stop learning. It's always changing. I know Dan has a book he goes by every single day. He's very regimented about that. That's one thing I'll always remember about Dan, is he literally documents every pizza he makes every single day, which is so fantastic. And Vince, I know the struggles you've been going through. I was there with you in 2019 as you were doing build out, so I completely understand that. And I've done the rebuild myself, so I know the frustrations of that. But we're very excited to be a part of New York Pizza Festival, as we weren't able to actually make it in 2019 when we wanted to. We just got too busy, too crazy with doing some other things here in Houston. But this year we're very excited to even be a part of it virtually. So we're going to bring something kind of crazy and different. We're going to have an option of technically it's like a bacon wrap date, but we're using Spec instead. It's a nice smoky flavor to add to the pizza. So it's a Spec wrapped date pizza. And we haven't decided on a secondary just yet, but I know that my brother and I have gone through a few run-throughs of the Spec and date, and we're super excited to offer that for the Pizza Festival.
That sounds fantastic. Are you doing some virtual events for the Pizza Festival as well?
Yeah, actually, I participated with Laura Meyer in another demo / conversation. We had a very fun time kind of chatting about 2 different things. She had made New York pizza and I had made Napolitana pizza. We kind of talked about some different variations with that, the importance of using scales and different scales, hydration rates, everything like that. I mean, there's so much to be learned about dough, and we touched on a lot of basic things. So we hope that some of this stuff provides people who've been making pizza some more insight of, making it at home as well. Because Laura and I have spent a lot of time at home making things. I challenged myself this year to actually make stuff at home versus constantly inside the pizzeria, because it's so different when you're at home versus inside of the pizzeria. You don't have all of the specialized fun equipment. You're limited on what you have. And it's almost kind of, you're running around your own kitchen saying, well, where's this? Or where's that? I don't have it. And you've got to, go get it, or, be prepared to have something quality that you would have at your own restaurant at home. And it's definitely a big challenge. It's not the same at all whatsoever. But I've been kind of doing that myself just to kind of push my limits and see what I'm capable of on things that I don't even make in my restaurant.
That's
Well,
no, go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I think that's the unique part of COVID, kind of like what Fred said at the beginning, that there's been a lot of things that COVID's taken away. But I also think there's some things that COVID has brought to to certain people and to really aspects of our life that we're kind of fortunate for if we really dig and look at it. And one would be the way that we use our time at home. And I think there's different things, like you're saying, if you're trying to get further into your passion, different making pizzas at home than it is in the restaurant for sure. And I think that's what's so exciting about the virtual pizza festival is there's so many homemakers out there that here have watching the way it's made at home, and this is really going to be a great event for them to get in front of and really watch the way that the professionals make pizza. So I think that's going to be real exciting for them.
Absolutely. And it's kind of challenging because who are inside of the restaurant is a completely different person than who you are at home. And it definitely shows the two sides of who you are in your, but also, it shows kind of your authenticity in a way because you're not prepared, you're not who you normally are aspect. And honestly, over the last couple of years, and I've been a lot on my own Instagram page of like things that I've been making, it's just like I personally think that I'm just a hot mess at home. It's not perfect. It's not the way I would do it at the restaurant. I'm using different things, different weight measurements, different scales, different water, and a lot of the times it's not as great as it would be if I were in my regular commercial kitchen where I have all of the things I need and I've got plenty of space. It's quite an interesting take on making pizzas at home, and I've been doing it over the last year with all the people who've been doing things, starting and now moving into brick and mortar. It's a different animal, it's a different beast every time you take it from rendition.
And I think the people that are tuned into the festival will be too. Fred, I was curious if you could, how did you come up with the show schedule this year as far as trying to get together a schedule that would work for the viewers of the festival, that when they go online that they can get something out of it and be able to have a really nice takeaway from the festival? How did you guys really design the program this year?
So the theme of the festival is all roads lead to pizza. And it's this kind of concept that, pizza started in Naples, came to the United States, really came to New York, and then from New York traveled across the country and all these iterations, and it continued to evolve. So this all roads lead to pizza really encompasses bring everyone together inside the pizza world. So we've got interviews with some of the more famous pizza chefs in Naples. We've got demonstrations of how to make pizza at home with professionals in the United States that have restaurants. We've got roundtable discussions, just like this one we're having right now, with people like Dan and Vincent and Nicole that are participating. There's another organization that Nicole's one of the ambassadors of, Women in Pizza, and they're participating. So we made this schedule really just going out and asking all of our friends in the industry if they give their time. And I think one of the things that everybody hit on, but all Nicole and Vincent and Dan, was the sense of community they feel in the product, the way they feel about hosting other pizza professionals in their locations, and the fact that I think getting all that everyone loves the product and they love being part of the industry. So we were really humbled when we went out and we started asking, hey, would you give your time and do a Facebook Live on the 24th or 25th, depending on where you fit in the schedule, and talk to the audience, be part of this, and would you share a recipe? Would you and Nick, not one person had anything to say other than, yes, we'd love to. And like that to me that's what our industry is about, right? It's about sharing, it's about coming together. And New York Pizza Festival is literally supposed to bring the people that love pizza together with the people who make pizza. And that's why we have to keep doing it. And that's why we're doing the home edition.
And I think the home edition is going to be really exciting because it doesn't just limit the people who can travel to New York this year, but it really, anybody that can get in front of a computer and get onto Facebook, they'll be able to catch it. So is it Facebook Live? Is that where they need to go? Is it the New York Pizza Festival Facebook page?
It is, and it'll be broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. And you can, what you really should do is go to nypizzafestival.com and sign up. And this way, once you're registered, which is totally free, and no one likes signing up, but once you sign up, it's totally free. You'll start getting all the reminders. You'll get different information about it. You'll see the schedule, and you'll be able to say, oh, you know what, on Saturday at 3 o'clock, I really want to see this demo, or I really want to see my favorite pizza guys talking. I want to see him talk. So really easy. Go New York Pizza Festival and sign up.
Fantastic. And I know it might be a little too soon to ask this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. 2022, is there some talks, and are you hoping that you'll be able to have a live event, or where do you, is it too soon to ask that question? No,
it's not too soon. I want to believe, I really believe we'll be able to do a live event in 2022. We normally do the event near Columbus Day weekend in New York City. So, that's always October. So I really want to believe that October of 2022, we are all together. Come on.
All right. I think that's just, that's the way you got to look through COVID, is just looking straight ahead and hoping for the best. And I think just, listening to everybody talk, it's been really great. And I think the struggles everybody's gone through the last year, it'll be nice to be able to have a virtual event where we can share the passion of our industry. And I've said through this whole thing that everybody just wants a slice of normalcy through COVID. And what does that better than a pizza? So I think anybody out there watching today, I hope they really go ahead and tune in on the 24th and 25th of April to the New York Pizza Festival, the virtual event. And we thank everybody for their time today. And we'll give everybody just a chance to have some quick closing thoughts as well. So, Dan, would you like to have some quick closing thoughts today?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I think, is there anything in particular that you are really looking forward to doing with COVID kind of on the backside? Is there something that maybe you've been waiting to do, but COVID really put a damper on it? Is there anything that you really want to get out there and do?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to travel again. I can't wait to welcome people back into our restaurant. We're still at 0% occupancy at Razza. We're waiting until all of our team is vaccinated, and once we have our space next door built out, we'll begin welcoming people back into the restaurant, which I cannot wait for. Vincent brought up welcoming people and watching kids grow up in your restaurant, and having your business be a center for families to come and just grow up in. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I can't wait for that. We've missed so many people, so many of our regulars, and I can't wait for that. And once my book comes out, I'm doing a big book tour. So I cannot wait to travel around the country and make pizza all over the country. And it's going to be so much fun.
Yep. I'd love to have you come make some pizza in Pittsburgh, Dan, when you start pushing the book. So
I would love that.
Great. And Nicole, is there any closing thoughts that you have for people to tune in for next week?
Absolutely. I think there's so much content coming. You really don't want to miss out on what's to come. There's so many other people like myself, Dan, and Vincent, and you guys that are participating in this huge event. And thank you, Fred, for hosting this virtually this year. You're bringing all of us together for everyone to see on this virtual platform of Facebook. And I can't thank you enough for having us. So don't miss out on anything. There's a lot of things going on. I know most of my friends are participating in something, some form of fashion of demo or conversation, that if you're in the industry or you like making pizza, you'll want to be a part of it.
Thanks for that. And Vincent, some final thoughts there?
You know, the virtual pizza festival is so special for the pizza lover. You know, you have access to real amazing secrets and different formulas and understanding how to use different ingredients. And we're giving that information away for free. I'm not a pizza consultant, and I don't, you know, I don't hold back on sharing, simply because the more that I share, the better my process gets. I learn through giving, right? And so I'm an open book for my own selfish reasons, but I'm still an open book. And I've gotten a lot of information from all the different pizza makers and different, you know, just pizza lovers that I've interacted with over a lifetime of love of pizza. And I'm going to share it all with you on the 24th and the 25th. So if you are that pizza fan, that pizza, you know, fanatic, that pizza lover, make sure tune in 24th to 25th, take it all in, and then implement that at home and utilize it to just make better pizza. And if you're that person who's a home pizza chef and you want to turn pro, like, you can do it. Like, more now than ever, you can do it. And I want to help you do it. We all want to help you do it. So come be a part of the festival and take your pizza game just to the next level, wherever it is. And Dan, please come to Vegas on your book tour and teach me how to make pizza.
with yellow tomatoes, right?
I'm definitely coming.
And Fred, thank you for all that you do with Orlando Foods and bringing some of the best products from Italy over. I mean, that in itself, you know, going through COVID and what we went through and the distribution nightmares that y'all had to conquer. Listen, thank you so much. And y'all keep up the great work over there, because I mean, when you're bringing some of these products over, people don't really understand, definitely the home chefs, you know, they're like, hey, I can just go get pizza sauce down the road or do this or cheese. And it makes all the difference in the world. And so thank you again for all that you're doing over there.
Thank you very much to you guys. And I really appreciate Tyler and Nick, you guys hosting this, perfectpizza.com and The Real Slice. It's awesome what you're doing. You know, you guys are the reason that community is getting created. You're spreading the word. You're bringing people together. And you know, Dan, I think it was the opening thing he really said was, it brings people together. And you know, if you guys, all of you that are on here, weren't passionate and weren't continuing to help this industry evolve, then I wouldn't have anything to do. So thank you very much.
All right, fantastic.
Thank you, Fred.
Really appreciate everyone being on here. Siler, would you like to have some closing thoughts? I thought it was a great presentation. I hope everybody definitely gets in front of the computer and in front of their phones on the virtual event for the 24th and the 25th.
Yes. And, you know, hanging out with guys like this, that's a legend, you know, is everything to me. So I'm super excited. I've got my calendar blocked off. As soon as we hang up here, I'm going to register. So I've learned a lot today, knowing what this is all going to be about. And I am super pumped more than ever. And, you know, for them to even put all this together, it's going to be great. I can't wait. So thank you all for coming on today. This was huge. Thanks for waking up early, Vince, and getting it and to come hang out with us. And Nicole, too, because you're a couple hours behind. So thank y'all so much. And I can't wait to see everybody in August.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thanks to all our viewers today for checking us out on The Real Slice, a special edition, the New York Virtual Pizza Festival Preview Edition, brought to you by perfectpizza.com. This has been Nick and Siler. Until next time, see you then.